Yo, what's up guys? This is Astronax for another Tap Wizard RPG Arcane Quest guide video on all the spells in the game. There's 30 spells, so I'm just gonna go over them quickly and just say real quick what I think about them. Some of them I have not really tried, I just leveled them a bit. But here we go, let's go. Alright, Bouncing Flame, good against multiple monsters. On the last hit it deals quite a bit of damage. All the spells, you can actually see this part when you first encounter them as unstable runes or stable runes. So I think I should just go over, like show you this page so you can just pause and figure out your setup, like where you're going. I'm playing with lightning, so I prefer to get passives that boost my lightning damage and well, spell XP first, but yeah, that was the first. So second one, Amber, really good to prevent monsters from healing. There's so many annoying monsters that heal. This will apply like an effect on them. It will burn them and it will prevent them from healing. It's really helpful. Yeah, I just have to keep on going here at the same time. Third spell is Firebomb. You get it as soon as you start the game. Has spell XP rate, so it's really good for that. But beside that, the damage is quite terrible from my testing. Yeah. Fourth spell, Fire Elemental. I just got that one. It was 2 spells left. This one I got from just a raw spellstone, and then I used a pure spellstone 500 runite to unlock the only spell I did not have, which was Meteor. So Fire Elemental damage seems alright. Has power drop increase, which is really important, and all damage. So if spells get nerfed and buffed, like, you need to build up your all damage. And power drop is amazing as a passive, but the damage on this is decent. Firefly, 5th spell. This is actually really good against casters. It deals quite a bit of damage actually. Does not bypass armor, but still it's a pretty massive nuke. So if you have it and you're not like in the late game, you did not start your meditations yet, or it should be useful all the way through, like even in New Game Plus. I don't know, I'm kind of like face rolling with my setup, but I mean, there's still testing to be done. From what I saw last time, it was really good. Firestorm, 6 skill. It is really good to buff up Inferno. Inferno is like the firewall in front of you. It also has XP rate increase, so it's definitely a spell that you want to level up. Because I mean, Infernal is the next one I wanted to show you guys, and this one I still like. I use a lot, and by itself it deals a lot of damage, and when you're combining it with Ice Wall, it just does like amazing amount of toxic gas procs, which deal 3 seconds of burn, which bypasses armor, so it's great. So if you're doing like a build like me that's focusing on lightning, but then I come in and I bring Infernal with the Ice Wall survival. Infernal is damage, but the passives boost lightning, all gold. So it's really good. It works out really well together. Next one is Meteor. I need to level that skill some more and test things out. Boost Firefly, so that's cool. ice damage. Ice is good too. Has XP rate, so that's amazing. Icy prism. It's like one of the first spell I got in the game, and it bypasses armor, and it deals tons of damage. You were able to... Icy prism was like king back in the days, but it got like nerfed. I never played when it was crazy, and I did not have like... it was another game. It was called a different... the game had a different name. But anyways, it's all balanced now. So yeah, so after Meteor we got Plasma Grenade. Did a bit of testing with it. Did not really level it. It's only Mark 1 rank 5. But it was doing some pretty good damage. I need to just play around, and I did not have time, unfortunately, but there's some spells that combo together that works well together, and you can buff certain spells using other spells. So yeah, I should do more testing with this one. And for the passives, Fire, Research, Ice Cast Speed, Firebomb, I don't know about it, but it has fire if you're working on with Infernal and some other fire spells. It's decent. So we got Plasma Vortex here. It's Plasma Vortex. It attacks really quickly. Actually, I will make another video and show every spell in action. It's just I don't have time right now. But this is just going to be to show you the passives and just quickly talk about each one. So this has fire damage increase on passive, has the XP spell XP rate increase, so that's really good just because it has that. But then you get like some nice fire damage increase. By the way, guys, like this is Mark II passives, so that's why it's like it's 44. But when you initially learn it, and you're like Mark 1 rank 0, you're not gonna get as much. It's like gonna be the first one is like 20% fire damage, and then it's like plus 24. It's like I don't know exactly. It's like 10%. Wait, what is it again? I should do some more research and test things out to give you guys the exact number, but it's it always goes up, and it's not linear. Okay, so yeah, Plasma Vortex, Amber was good to prevent monsters from healing. Has lightning cast speed, fire damage. It's really good. It has spell XP, so it's actually some really strong passives. Okay, let's go with Cold, Blizzard, spell XP right there, and lightning damage and ice damage. It's just Frost Ray is not good in my opinion. For like a spell for damage. It could always change though, but yeah, it has a spell XP rate, so it's top tier. You know, if we think about, like, if we talk about tiers, it's already top tier because it has spell XP, and you got that lightning and ice, so it's amazing. It's just as a spell, it doesn't do much damage really. But it freezes, and then you can use that if you don't have Ice Wall with Inferno to proc toxic gas. So there's always ways, you know. Icicle was buffed. It was really bad before. Now it's alright, I guess. It's like okay. But I mean, it has bypass armor. So if you don't have any bypass armor and you're fighting some monsters with really high armor and you're having difficulties, you should use whatever spell you have available to just melt through their health if they have high armor. Passive wise, Icy Prism is really strong, so You can level that with Icy Prism. Gold and ice passive increase, and then get the lightning cast speed. The passives are actually pretty damn good. It just doesn't have spell XP. There's only 12 spells in the game that give spell XP. You can check my previous video, or you can just go through, watch this video, and you'll see all the ones with that give spell XP. So a pretty good spell for its passive, and also for attacking it's alright. So Frost Ray has that power drop increase, which is really good. And then ice damage and fire damage, so Icy Prism, Infernal. I'm just talking about like top tier spells, like it's gonna buff those eventually when you get them. So yeah, Ice Wall cast speed is actually really good because Ice Wall is survival. The more walls you have up, the more damage mitigation you actually have. So that's pretty good actually. But Ice Wall does not deal damage really. So after this, so we're there. Next one is Ice Wall. So Ice Wall is just, it's pretty much godly with Infernal. Not only it does tons of damage, not by itself, but for Infernal. I don't think the toxic gas procs that are consuming the burn. No, wait. Toxic gas is proccing because the target has the freeze debuff, and the Ice Wall keeps putting the freeze on the monster, and Inferno keeps on consuming it and making a toxic gas, which deals 3 seconds of burn instantly, and it bypasses the target's armor. So it's really good. And then it has some amazing passives. You get spell XP, you get all damage, and you get lightning cast speed. Icicle unfortunately is not good, so that's yeah, that's unfortunate. But as a skill, you can pause here, or you can look it up in game. But you can have up to 50% damage mitigation just because of Ice Wall, and then it combos with Infernal. So yeah, let's move on. So Icy Prism bypasses the target's armor. The passives, research, lightning damage, and ice damage. It's actually really good just for that. Then you got frozen orb damage and cast speed. I'll get to frozen orb later, but it's actually a skill that has potential. I did not test it much, but you will see what I mean by that. Okay, so next one is Flurry. Flurry, Frost Elemental is pretty decent. Research rate, ice cast speed, fire cast speed. It's pretty bad. Like overall, it's pretty bad for its passive. And the damage, I mean, I was not impressed. So if the target is frozen, it reduces the target's armor by 5% of the damage. Yeah, if it's struck by a snowflake while frozen. I mean, when you can just use a spell that just straight up bypasses the enemy armor, you should not really focus on spells that have these types of mechanics. But if you have an insane tempered magic, if you have insane cast speed, there might be a way to just reduce the monster's armor extremely quickly using some of these mechanics, because it's not the only spell that has enemy armor. No, that's the thing though. If you're still casting super quickly, it's not gonna work because it's only 5% of your damage, and then you're not gonna even do damage because the enemy has so much armor that you're basically gonna do nothing because it's all reduced and your damage doesn't even bypass armor. So scratch that, it doesn't even work. So Flurry, I'd say, is very poor. like right here, I think there's some monsters that regenerate, so this should help. I actually took the healing on the left tower for my new game plus. Yeah, I used to have the tower right on the first playthrough, and it was actually amazing. But I wanted to change things up, and I wanted to test this, show you guys, and I felt like it might be stronger when you in New Game Plus than at the start of the game. Wow, this is taking forever. Let's just let's keep on going. So Flurry was this, and now next one is Frost Elemental. Frost Elemental, you don't get it when you start the game. You get a Lightning Elemental, which is really good. Well, it's good. Not really good, but it's good. So Frost Elemental has that XP rate passive, really good there. Has all damage twice. So like 3 passive there that are extremely good. And then Torrent damage. I mean, Torrent's actually decent. Torrent's actually pretty good from the small amount of testing I've done with it while leveling it. So Frost Elemental as a spell by itself, it's actually strong. It's actually doing some good damage, and you can combine Frost Elemental because it does Ice Novas that freeze monsters, and then you can combine it with Inferno for toxic gas procs. And like every debuff has a I mean, it does something for you, like freeze makes it so you take the monsters are slower, you increase your survival. So yeah, anyways, let's keep on going. After this we have Frozen Disc. Frozen Disc by itself, I mean, for the passive, it is good because it has the XP rate increase, all damage, and then we get Ice Cast Speed. So the all damage is nice. The XP rate is really nice. Ice Cast Speed, it's alright, I guess. But then Blizzard damage and Cast Speed. Blizzard is not good. For damage, that is. So let's keep on going. So yeah, Frozen Disc. And for damage on this was not good. Each hit frees enemy for 1 second. The cooldown is not that low, but it's a decent source of freeze if you don't have anything else. Then if you kill the enemy on impact, an extra ice shard is released. Yeah, it needs more testing, but it wasn't amazing. Like, it wasn't great, good. It's alright. Alright, next. Yeah, Frozen Orbs. So I was talking about, like, there was, which one was it? Oh god. Oh, there it is. Okay, Icy Prism does boost Frozen Orbs. Icy Prism is amazing. So, Frozen Orbs, on the last augmentation, it has like some special things going on. The spell to the right is fire, plus 3 ice shards. If it's ice, 60% orb damage increase. And if it's lightning, it bypasses armor. So I need to test it more, but it did seem like it was pretty good. Actually, I might just test it now. These guys are healing, whatever. So to the right, let's just reset the loadout for the damage contribution. You can see it's... The thing is, the damage is all over the place. You need damage that's focused on, like, either close to you or like further. Like, you need to have focused damage or it's not gonna be so great. Like, it's just fake damage if they're healing themselves and you're spreading your damage over like a bunch of monsters. It's basically like you're using this Shocknet. It just attacks everything but doesn't really do much. Shocknet is actually amazing early on, but I mean, it's like, well, they're healing, so. But anyways, frozen orbs has some potential, because if you can use frozen orbs and then you build up on the tower right, the second one, the second and the fourth, the spells that are going to be the third spell and your fourth spell are going to target close enemies. It doesn't work on all spells, but anything that has like projectile it works for, so you can have focus damage, which is really important. Now the tower left is gonna focus on monsters that are further away, so that's not gonna be so great, because what I had before is I used Voltaic orb on with the tower right, so Voltaic orb focused on the enemies closest to me, and then I had Infernal that was in front of me, like the squad, melee squad in front of me, basically. It was attacking that, so that was focus damage as well. Same with Ice Wall, but it doesn't really matter because it doesn't do much damage. But it was freezing those monsters, which was proccing a bunch of toxic gases. So my damage was focused. My damage was not fake damage, if you catch my drift. Anyway, here we go now. So yeah, that was frozen orbs. Now for the passives, frozen disc is unfortunate, but yeah, actually the passives are pretty damn bad. Research rate and some cast speed. Yeah, I don't like the passive. So if you have it on that 5th augmentation, it does have. Oh, actually, wait. You have 50% chance to deflect projectile, so that's actually really good. I forgot about that, and it negates enemy auras and shield upon impact. Okay, this spell is actually amazing. Projectile not deflected, boost orb damage by 20%. Okay, so I should probably run this. You can, if you run, if you do something like this, you get the survival from frozen orb, and then you get the deflect from, you get the damage mitigation from ice wall, and you get the deflect from frozen orbs. That's actually some amazing survival. And then I have healing going on. So yeah, it works out pretty damn good. Then you negate auras. Then if there's some healing there, you can add amber. And now I would have my main damaging skill would be Voltaic orb with spark. And the other 3 skills would be set with like this. So that's actually pretty good. Got my main skill that's boosted with spark, and then I got a bunch of utilities and some prevent monster heal. Just great. Alright, so let's keep on going. Now Torrent. Torrent, I'm gonna make a video, guys. I'm dragging this on, like it's taking way too long. Like I know some people just want to come in and like I do like boom, boom. It's like this, then next, you know. And then you just pause and you get the information like quickly. But I'll make another video like this. I could actually make it right after this. But anyways, let's keep on going. Actually, my push pretty decent now with this setup. So yeah, Torrent launches spinning cascade of ice and snow which latch into a target, freezing it. Torrent then shoots out frozen debris at nearby enemies at random intervals until the target dies or after 4 seconds. So it's a debuff that sticks to the target and then starts shooting a bunch of frozen debris. And those frozen debris can like freeze, and if you read the augmentations, targets random enemies, the debris, and then fires before latching on the third. Every other shot is an ice chunk. Spike degree. There's some bypass armor there. That's why the damage was actually pretty good. But the damage is not focused. It's all over the place. So damage kind of fake, but still good. And the 5th one is if target is burning upon impact, an auxiliary torrent is launched, but it cannot latch into target with torrent. So it will launch, and it has to latch on targets that don't have Torrent on them already. Anyway, some cool mechanics. We got some gold drop passive, some fire damage passive, and some ice cast speed, which is, I'd say it's pretty good because of the fire damage and gold. Cast speed is so low though on all these spells. I don't know why, I guess. Well, anyways, it's pretty good still. Alright, lightning now. Chain lightning, damage kinda bad. Yeah, it is bad. It is bad. It's just a really cool spell. I love chain lightning. Chain lightning in RPG games has been one of my favorites, like spell. But unfortunately, it's not that great here. Passive wise, static leap. Static leap is really bad. It's good for survival, but it's bad for damage. Static leap is more like you're wasting time while you could just be like doing more damage. You're just bouncing back. Anyways, research rate increase, and then cast speed on fire, lightning cast speed. I'd say it's very poor, very bad. Okay, conduit is actually really good. Has that spell XP rate increase. It's already amazing because of that. But then you got all damage and lightning damage. I really need to level that thing up some more. So yeah. Voltaic sword, I need to test out some more things with Voltaic sword. It was like all over the place the way it was attacking, and it requires some debuffs to bypass armor and to double back, and it was actually attacking like random squads, and then the other spells that it was like the debuffs that it was requiring to bypass armor or double back were also randomly attacking monsters, so like it was kind of all over the place, which I did not like. But when you have your towers that focus on the front row and the back squad, it makes your spells like it's way more focused, your damage, which is well, that's the goal basically if you want to focus down enemies. All right, so where are we at now? We are, well, we're with this, and like conduit as a spell attacks really quickly. It's 0.17 second. Right now my tempered magic is not high, it's like 5, so my cast speed is like barely above 100, I think, because I just restarted the game. It's a new game plus. Damage, I need to test it. I need to make another video and test skills and show you guys. But on the augmentations, yeah, some shock, but it does not bypass armor, so whatever it does, I need to test like a zero tempered magic, like 0 cast speed basically, and see if the spells can nuke down monsters with high armor. That I need to test that later on. So yeah, I'm really curious about that, because like it would totally change like the way I see each spells, you know. So that's it for conduit. Now, okay, elemental cloud is godly for my build because, well, that's the only spell that boosts Voltaic orb, and Voltaic orb is my main source of damage. So as a spell by itself, it does not really do much damage, but it applies. It can apply any of the status effect in the game, and then like if the target has a status effect, it deals some more damage, and yeah, I mean, it has a chance to burn, freeze, shock target for 1 second. Yeah, for that it's all right. But now the passive, it's just crazy for Voltaic Orb, because it boosts Voltaic Orb, and then you got power drop increase and you got lightning damage increase. So 4 passives that boost my build, really good. And then you got the ice cast speed which boosts ice wall. So and frozen orb too. Well, frozen orb is not for damage, it's more for survival that I'm gonna use it, I think. Actually, I should make frozen orb bypass armor. If I put it like this, to the right is lightning, so bypass armor. Yeah, set it up like this. I wanted to do it like this so ice wall gets more experience, but I'll test it like this. Anyways, so that was it for elemental cloud. It's just really good for me. Now lightning elemental, you get it at the start of the game. I mean, this information could change though, like a lightning elemental might not be given at the start of the game anymore. It depends if it was changed or not, but it's really strong. XP rate increase, godly. Then you got lightning damage increase and fire damage increase, so all three are really strong. And then it has static aura boost. Static aura, I'm gonna get up to that, but it does quite a bit of damage actually. So yeah, that's it for that. And as a spell by itself, it does some pretty good damage. You can use any of the elementals with spark to reduce the cooldown. Like it would reduce its cooldown by so, like you can cast and have a bunch of elemental up. You can also use stable runes to increase their duration. Like you see Summoner's Link, it's quality 2. It's not good, but it's plus 10 seconds, and if you're trying to push through something and you have difficulties, you can use spark with this summon, and then you pop a bunch of those and they last a long time. It's just they despawn between zone if you do a dungeon or what's called the broken keys or whatever. So yeah, they despawn between, but you can use that trick to go further, I guess. It lags the game though if you have too many summons up. Alright, so that was it for lightning elemental. So yeah, really good. Shocknet, I used that early game, like early, some mid game, but then I was like, yeah, it's fake damage, it's attacking everything, it's just inflating its damage contribution. It's not actually like that great, but I'm sure that if I had a lower TM lag maybe, and if I ran some like Amber when I was doing it to prevent monsters from healing, then it would be doing some pretty good damage and I could be able to burst down the whole screen quickly. But anyways, I need to test that out some more, but it has chain lightning damage increase passive, so that's unfortunate there. Research rate increase, alright. All damage is pretty strong. I mean, it's really good. Ice damage, cast speed for ice wall. That's good too. So yeah, it shocks too, and shock makes some like small lightning strikes on the enemies. But yeah, you can see if I do it, it's just gonna lag the game out. I have my spell loadout set up for some other video I want to make later, so I'm not gonna play around with that. But yeah, it lags the game, and it's good early game though. Yeah, I'm just gonna recall here. Alright, so yeah, that's Shocknet. Next one, Static Aura. So that skill actually does a lot of damage, and it doesn't even like bypass enemy armor. It has the passive, has ice damage, has the amazing spell XP rate, and has lightning cast speed. So that's ice damage for icy prism, and any other ice spell you might be running, like yeah. But it's already godly because it has XP rate. And then if you use ice, that's really good. Then lightning cast speed. Spark, if you have spark, you should definitely use it. So it also increases this damage of spark, which is not that great, but it's some extra boost, I guess. Actually, you see the explosion of the 5th augmentation strips 15% of the target's armor. It also speeds up the target by 50%. So like you're gonna take more damage, but it's it's a glass cannon type of attack. But it deals some good damage. It deals damage focused in the front line. So that with Inferno or more than one, let's say, static aura, when you focus your damage in one region, it's really strong. Static leap, good for survival, buying time, avoiding hits. The passives on this, ice damage for icy prism. You could do like static leap for icy prism or something like that. It depends what your TM lag is, but you could do static leap, icy prism, like one of the icy prism with spark, and you could run some utilities with that. So yeah, ice damage, passive, it's really good. Gold drop, really good too, and all damage, so very strong. Conduit damage, well, Conduit has strong passives. It's just that for damage it's not that great from what I remember. Where was I? Yeah, this. So that's it for that. The leap distance is increased on the first augmentation, and yeah. Spark, Godly, just an amazing spell. Well, not only it's amazing by itself as a spell, because it reduced the spell to the left by 1 second. It trigger 3 times maximum per second, but it's to the left after you get the first augmentation. It's on a random spell. It can even reduce itself when you don't have any augmentation, but it's not good that way. You need to focus it on the left with the augmentation. So that is really good. And if you bring it to, you see the cooldown is not low enough. It needs to be like 0.33. You can get up to 3 times per second, but you want to bring it even a bit lower, because even if you have 0.33, it's not gonna trigger all these like 3 times per second. So you can get like 0.25. So it's pretty like stable at the 3 per second or something like that. So yeah, Spark. Passive wise, Elemental Cloud. I mean, it boosted that damage, and Elemental Claw, if you're running Voltaic Orb like me, it's some extra damage there. Lightning cast speed, real good there, and I mean, you got the Godly spell XP rate increase, so everything else is just bonus. That's how I see it. And Spark by itself is just like when I ran it with Voltaic Orb, I was running Voltaic Orb on the 3rd and 4th skill with the Tower Right that boosted the 4th spell 50% damage increase, and then I had Spark in the 5th one, and I was like, the damage contribution was like on the 3rd Voltaic Orb was like 30%, and on the 4th Voltaic Orb was like 65%, and it was like focus damage, bypass armor, and just really strong, just melting stuff. So that's it for Spark, and yeah, it does at the final rank, it does a Shock Nova on impact, damaging all the squad for 30% shock damage. It's not bad, it's not bad. Like you can see here the damage contribution. Voltaic Orb 72, and then Spark is doing 8%. The other ones are utilities, so like it's doing pretty good damage, but the other ones are utilities and it's not doing that much damage. They're not there for damage, they're there for what they bring to the table. So yeah, Voltaic Orb, just my god spell. The passives on this, you can run Lightning Elemental with this build. It's just the damage is not going to be really focused until you get your tower buffs. But has all damage, really good. Gold drop is really good too. I mean, it's pretty good. Lightning cast speed, real good, and yeah, lightning damage boost, like lightning elemental damage and cast speed boost. But the thing is, it's just because it has bypass armor, so you get 50% chance on all the arcs, and then get 100% chance on the primary target's armor. So that's when you get that fifth augmentation, thing just start dropping. It's amazing. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Just stacking lightning, all damage, lightning cast speed, using spark on Voltaic orb, just running some utilities for survival, and it's been working out real good for me. And the final spell, the 30th spell, it's Voltaic sword. It's actually pretty good. It boosts shocknet, so if you're early game, you're running shocknet with Voltaic sword, it's pretty good. Research rate, it's okay. It's lightning damage and fire damage is really strong, and then you get the shocknet boost. But then you can see on the spell itself, if the target is frozen, it bypass armor. A chance to double back. If it's burning, it takes 50% damage and the remaining burn damage instantly. And then if the target is shocked, the sword has 100% chance to double back. So there's all these mechanics if the right debuffs are on the target, and if they are on the same target that it's attacking. So it requires a lot of setup. And these debuffs are not going to be applied on monsters unless you are casting really quickly and you have a tempered magic that is high. So it's going to be a build, if you use it, that's going to require a high tempered magic to apply the debuffs on the target. But like Amber is applying a burn on like everything, well, not everything, but most of the monsters in the front and middle squad. So yeah, can use Amber with that, can use Inferno with that to freeze. Well, there's a lot of options, but I'll let you guys play around with this. This is like the most fun. Just try to figure out some combos. So I'm not gonna reveal all the all the tricks, but I'll make videos for builds and give you tips, guys, don't worry. So if you don't want to do too much, if you don't want to think too much and just have fun with the game and play it casually, just definitely keep on watching some more of my videos. So that's gonna be it for this this guide, guys. 30 spells, and yeah, finally got them all. It's been a long time that I've been playing. Yeah, I started playing this game like 4 months ago. I played the game when it was different name, like over a year ago, I think. I did not play much though, but I did up to like meditation 1 or 2, I can't remember. Anyways, I'm having a blast with this game, and I'm sure you guys are really enjoying it too. So yeah, stick around for some more good information from me. And yeah, I'm Astronox, and thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button, leave me a comment about anything really about the game, which spell you unlocked, like any cool builds you want to share with the community. Let us know any cool spell combos. Yeah, hit us up in the comment section, and hit the if you want to see more and be alerted when I release new videos, hit the, well, subscribe first, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when I release new videos. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. I'm Astronox, and I'm out for now. Peace.